Welcome back to Bloom. Up until now, we've aged fairly well with basic lifestyle management, a little luck, maybe some DNA, but the future of health is absolutely changing. Now scientists are focusing more on the biological age of our cells. Joining us today to tell us more is Greg Macpherson, a biotechnologist and the author of Harnessing the 9 Hallmarks of Aging. Welcome to Bloom, Greg.
Gayle, it's great to be here. Thank you.
Great to talk to you. This is such a fascinating subject. Is there such a thing as anti-aging, and what are we doing right and what are we doing wrong when it comes to aging?
Yeah, it's so exciting. There is such a thing now as anti-aging. We can slow the aging process in our cells, and some of the things we do now, like exercising and eating well, some of the first steps we can do. But science is now showing us that we can actually start to do things like take certain supplements and actually rewind the clock and slow that aging process down.
So what does the testing of our DNA tell us besides just the genetics?
Yeah, well, a lot of us think about DNA testing as just, looking at your ancestry and looking at perhaps some of the conditions that you might get or are more likely to get as you age. But there's a new type of testing called epigenetic testing. And this is testing of actually the little bits of your DNA. And you have a clock on your DNA. It's actually, it's a wee bit like, something that just accumulates damage over time. And you can measure that damage, and it correlates exactly with our age.
So I know you've put a lot of this into a book, The 9 Hallmarks of Aging. Why did you write the book?
I'm a real big fan of the statement, the future's here, it's just not widely distributed yet. And what that means is that there's a lot of work being done by lots of very bright people around the world who are starting to actually, and their work essentially starts to actually become available to all of us. This book is about discovering a paper called the Hallmarks of Aging, and just realizing that this is such important information that people can use right now to actually slow the aging process down. So this is a healthy aging handbook, if you will, using the latest research around what we can do to slow the aging process down.
Now, if you go back in history, you really couldn't just be popping food into your mouth at all times, and so that has led a lot of scientists to realize that maybe intermittent fasting is what we should be doing, and I know that you're a big fan of that.
Absolutely. I think fasting is really important. These days we very seldom are hungry, and we actually need our bodies to be hungry, because when we're hungry it stimulates processes in our body which clear out the old cells and the junk and things that are not working properly to make way for the new shiny cells, so to speak. And when we do that, it's very healthy. So, doing sensible fasting, which is perhaps missing a meal occasionally, maybe 2 meals, is really, really important for us, and it's something I really encourage people to do. But absolutely, you've got to do it in conjunction with talking with your doctor, so you're not hurting yourself, because if you fast too extreme, that's not good for you either.
So you mentioned exercise. What kind of exercise should we be doing, I guess, the most of to repair our cells?
It actually doesn't matter what you do. It's just about doing it regularly. And I'm a big fan of just getting out for a walk once a day, once a couple of times a week. It's actually just moving, because in doing that, you're actually stimulating, again, processes inside your body which are actually essentially anti-aging. The healthier you are, the better you will be, and actually that sets up longevity, so to speak.
So let's talk about what we're all looking for these days, sleep, and that definitely reverses DNA damage, correct?
You bet. Yeah, it's really important that we sleep, and I think somehow we've gotten to this stage in our culture where we think we don't need much, but it's just so important for us on so many levels, and it looks after our DNA. The bit more sleep you have, 7 to 8 hours a day, it actually allows your body to actually stop and just focus in on healing itself. And at the same time too, we're lowering the stress in our body, which becomes really important.
Well, Greg, I have to tell you, I think now more than ever, amidst this pandemic that we're in, a lot of people are looking for ways to live a healthier life. And of course, especially me, I'm pushing 55, we're looking for ways to turn back the hands of time a bit. And I really appreciate you joining us on Bloom today. This has been absolutely fascinating.
Thank you. It's great to see you.
Thank you, Greg. And for more information, you can visit the 9hallmarksofaging.com. And we will be back with more Bloom right after this.